Hi YouTube, welcome to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name's Pauline and I am possibly one of the most hair obsessed, vain, paranormal junkie out there. I don't know how to introduce myself, but I'm always just trying to be as beautiful and as powerful as possible. And in my mind, one of the best ways to do that is by achieving your dream hair. Am I right? Am I? I think I'm right. But anyway, I wanted to just come on here and share some common sense knowledge that people often forget, that I wanted to stress about how I was able to achieve my dream hair. And a lot of it was patience. Unfortunately, hair only grows a certain amount per month, and there really isn't much you can do to make it grow any faster than, dare I say, like an inch. Maybe an inch a month might be the fastest. I don't really think that it can grow anything faster than 2 inches a month. I really doubt it. Most people's hair grows on an average of half an inch a month. So there might be some things you can do, like be in great health, not have any issues that deter from growing your hair, as well as getting good sleep, managing your stress, exercising regularly, having a great diet, drinking enough water. Of course, all those things, but even then, it can only physically grow so much per month. So there's that. And then the other thing too is basically doing everything to take good care of it, so that once it reaches certain lengths, you have what you call length retention. And I didn't really realize that back in the day when I used to wash my hair with shampoo every single day, because I was addicted to that fresh, clean scalp feeling. That wasn't helping matters of me trying to grow my hair long. Also, I used to wear my hair down all the time, and I didn't realize that actually causes mechanical damage, which doesn't help length retention. If you have fine hair especially, and if you have hair that you heat style or color, and you wear it down all the time, it's already vulnerable because it's already been damaged from, say, color retreating, lightening, heat damage, or mechanical damage. But then wearing it loose and down, it just kind of like rubs against your clothes, gets caught in like your handbag strap or seatbelt or backpack or what have you. Or even simply, it might get tangled. It might get tangled, and then you have to detangle it, and that causes damage. So what ends up happening is your hair gets weaker and weaker, and even maybe drier and drier, and it starts literally breaking off from the ends. And a lot of it will happen so gradually that you don't even notice it. All you'll notice is that your hair does not seem to grow any longer than a certain length. It's because you're not doing things to take care of it, to keep it healthy and strong, and you're not doing things to protect it and maintain length retention. So, of course, you can do things like pre-wash treatments. You can use oil treatments, deep hair masks, There's other things you can do too to help strengthen it, which I will share in another video, but I'll just mention it here. I use Ayurvedic. I don't know how to pronounce that word, but it's basically natural, holistic, centuries old methods of hair care, like cassia powder. And I basically use that on my blonde hair to, it enhances golden tones, but it's temporary. It's not permanent like henna, and it lasts maybe about a month depending on how often you wash your hair. But I like it because I don't mind my hair being golden. I don't have to have ashy hair. Sometimes I like a golden blonde, and the main reason why I like it so much is it thickens my hair. It's a little temporary because it lasts like a month, like I said, but during that month after I do the cassia mask, oh my God, my hair feels stronger and it literally looks and feels thicker. So I ordered some. It just shipped, so when it gets here, I'm definitely doing a video. Especially because I just recently touched up my highlights and I did a little root blending with toner, but I didn't use toner on the lengths. I just used Fanola No Yellow shampoo and hair mask. So it'll be ready for the cassia to be golden blonde. That's fun too, because we're going to kind of shift the shade of blonde. And I really like having variety in my looks where I'm able to change the tone of the blonde. I'm able to kind of like let the roots get darker, and then touch up the highlights. And depending on how many highlights and where you place them, you can be a brighter blonde that's like an all over blonde, or you can be more of a balayage blonde. I'm getting really excited thinking about it. Every time I touch up my color, I will definitely document it. This last time I did it, I forgot to show the actual highlighting with the foils. I didn't film it because I just wasn't in the mood. And then when I did film the color correction, I didn't know how to do the right camera angles. So there wasn't really good footage for me to work with when I edited. So I think that was just kind of like a stepping stone. I'm like starting to learn. But yeah, I'm so excited to do the cassia mask again. And why did I start going on this ramble? Think I was talking about protecting your hair and caring for your hair. Yeah. So it's like an act of self-care. For me, it's a beauty ritual, and I just started really indulging and enjoying it. But in the past, I used to overdo it, and that's not good either. It's not good to weigh your hair down with too much product. It's not good to have really prolonged hours and hours of time where your hair is like wet. There were times where I actually slept with my hair wet with a mask in it. That's actually not good for your hair, so don't do that. Don't make the mistake that I did. Now it's like I'll do a dry mask, like a spray leave-in. There's one that's my favorite. It's by IGK. I think it's Antisocial. I've gone through bottles or cans of that spray. What I love about it is it doesn't make your hair frizzy. So you know how like when you get your styled dry hair wet with like a very wet leave-in conditioner, it can basically ruin the curl pattern you set into it, or it can cause it to sort of frizz. This doesn't do that. I love it. I use it for in between wash days. I've noticed that the Bond Building pre-wash treatment, I can never do it on a non-wash day. Like I can only use that on a day that I'm gonna for sure wash my hair, because that's kind of like getting plain water and just dousing my hair in it. It just looks like I just washed my hair and I haven't even brushed it yet, and it makes it frizzy. So there's like, I'm going on a ramble about products now, but I'm just saying, my point is balance. Yeah. So you need to do things to care for your hair, make sure it stays healthy and strong while doing things to help with the length retention without overdoing it. So, for me personally, I found that wearing my hair in updos and protective, gentle updos where it's not down, it's not braided, there's not a million hair ties involved, it's just one or two or maybe three hair accessories that are easy to use, firmly hold the hair in place, and is very gentle. It does not cause damage by using it. And one way that I found made it enjoyable to do on the daily is using hair accessories that are easy to use, that I get excited to use because they're nice, and the updos are fast to do and they look nice. So it's also important not to do the same updo every single time. It's good to have variety. And yeah, so you just do that. And then the bonus about putting your hair in protective updos is you don't really need to heat style or cause mechanical damage by having to wear it down, you know? And before you know it, as time goes on, while you've been putting your hair up in these protective styles, one day when you put it down to wash or comb and detangle or oil, you'll notice, whoa, where did all this length come from? And whoa, I don't need a trim that often this month, you know? That's the other thing too, is regularly trimming your hair is very important, because if you start getting damage on the ends, unfortunately, that damage is going to be more tangly. So it's going to kind of like tend to tangle with the neighboring hairs. It's going to be harder for you to do the aftercare after a wash, because it'll be more rough and harder to detangle, which can actually cause more damage. Yeah, so there's that, but also the damage will start to kind of travel up gradually. And the longer you go without trimming it, the more you're going to end up trimming off. So it's better to stay on top of it and just regularly take off a little bit. So that way, it's slowly growing and you're not going to have to chop off a few inches all of a sudden and just kind of backtrack. So I think that's most of my hair growing tips, how I got to this length. And then as far as the blonde color goes, I'm only able to get hair this healthy and this color by my hair history. So there was a time when I used to dye my hair dark, and then I tried to go lighter, and because of the layers and layers of dark hair dye that was on my hair, I really couldn't get a clean, light, blonde, pale, inside of the banana yellow lift. It just would only lift to like a coppery color. So I just kind of ran with it, and I was a redhead for a few years. So since my hair couldn't lift to this clean blonde that I couldn't tone to keep it light and bright, I was just, a redhead. And then eventually it was like strawberry blonde until the day came when all of that previously colored hair grew out. It grew out. So I didn't have that anymore. And so now my current, I guess, hair history would be this hair on my head from root to tip has never been dyed black or dark brown or even medium brown ever. It's only been lightened to like a red or a strawberry blonde. So from that point, I was able to strip the warmth out of my hair gradually, and I was able to go blonde for the first time. Everyone's hair is different. Maybe if you have thicker, coarser hair, you can go from black to blonde, but my hair couldn't. It really couldn't. Because it's very fine textured and it's more delicate. And the way that it lifted too, it just wasn't possible at first to go from years of dark hair dye to blonde. I just couldn't do it. So once all that grew out, I was able to go strawberry blonde and then gradually to blonde. But then my hair being very fine textured and very delicate, I had damage from removing the red. So yes, I was blonde, but it was hair that was stripped of artificial color. It was, really harshly bleached more than once. So then I had damaged blonde hair for a while. And then over the years, that previously colored red hair grew out. So then my current hair history at that time was hair that had never been dyed dark and hair that had never been dyed red. So from there, I was able to get this clean lift and it looked healthy. And then I had like the blonde hair I always dreamed of for a while until I made the other mistake. I was a blondorexic. I just couldn't be blonde enough. I was obsessed with it. I kept lightening and lightening. I wanted to go blonder and blonder. And I didn't realize that you shouldn't, bleach and rebleach the same hair over and over and over. And some people's hair can handle it. Like I said, mine cannot. And yeah, I got major damage. I did achieve platinum. It was fun, not gonna lie, but I'm never doing it again because of the damage that I had. And if I can find pictures, I will insert them right now so you can see. So there you go. I basically achieved blonde hair and then I went blondorexic and kind of went overboard and destroyed it. Like I said, balance, right? So ironically, I learned the most from that experience because from the growing out process, I learned all kinds of different, I'm thankful at that time bond building products was a thing. That's basically when Olaplex was the only bond building product out there. I think Sally Beauty Supply had an Ion brand where there's like the step 1 and step 2 that they duped, but they didn't have the Bond Bar line yet. So I was able to use Olaplex and then eventually K18 when that came out. But yeah, I learned so much of how to really care for bleach damaged hair. And that's when I discovered some channels on YouTube where there were other blondes that made that same mistake and completely wrecked their hair from over bleaching it to a platinum blonde. And watching their channels and their journeys, I learned from them. So, yeah. The other thing that I learned too is the placement of the highlights. So, there were a couple hairstylists that I like absolutely adored, and I was a slave to them, but it got expensive, and sometimes, they're not really willing to do all the work it takes to have hair this long be bleached and foiled and toned and balayaged and color corrected. And I know that they really are dying to chop off like 4 to 6 inches before they start touching my hair with all of their products. So I just learned to do it myself. So for a long time, I've just been maintaining my color for as long as I can remember, from the days I had dark hair and I went red, and then I went strawberry blonde, and then I went blonde, and then I fried it to platinum, and then now we're here. So, one of the reasons why I'm able to have hair this long and also this color is basically learning the different placements of where to put the blonde and where to allow your hair to grow more of your natural dark color. So, back here in the dark, it's in the dark. Back there, it's dark. And I like it because it kind of creates dimension. And then up here, it's dark because then when my hair grows, I don't have like a harsh line of grow out that's making me antsy to touch it up with dye. Because, like I said, the less I dye it, the better it is for my hair. So I found ways to just be able to go a couple months if I have to, not touch it at all, and have it still look good. So I basically only mess with the front. So from the hair on the top of my head to my ear to the other side of my ear, that's the only part I mess with maybe every 4 to 6 weeks. And I will do a base bump, which is just permanent color and 20 volume developer to cover my grays and lighten the base or lighten my natural roots 2 shades to help it blend into the blonde highlights. And then maybe every other month, I will do foiled bleach highlights, and I'll do around my face and then down the center part because I usually part my hair in the middle. I'll do a couple foils only down here, and I bleach only the the growth. So I don't run the bleach all the way to the ends. I will only do the roots. And then if I feel like I need to, at the very last moments, I might do I'll run the old bleach from the bowl down the lengths for the last couple minutes to just kind of remove like the deposits of the purple shampoo and what have you off of the lengths to brighten it a little bit. But I don't even do that every time. Yeah, so that's what I do. And then the ends, I literally just wait until it looks bad. Like I'll just let it grow and grow and grow until it kind of will start to look like I have two-toned hair. Then I'll just be like, oh, great. I have to do highlights on the ends, and that's a bitch to do, but maybe every 6 months I'll do it. And then now I've actually gotten to a point where instead of actually doing foiled highlights using the balayage board like I used to, now I just kind of like pick out pieces and kind of do like foil packets of certain sections because it's easier and I don't want to cut my hair shorter, and I haven't done weaved foiled highlights on my hair since like 9 months ago. And even that was hard because I could barely reach it. Because I work from the back to the front and I put foil on a board and I basically, yeah, and I could barely reach the tip of the hair. So I don't know how I would do it now. Last time I did it, I just basically kind of picked out hairs and then I just painted it on the board, like swirled it on the board and then wrapped it up with foil. And I did some tip outs. But yeah, I only have to do that like twice a year. So the less I have bleach touch the ends, the more length retention I have, and the more I maintain the health. So it's a very long-winded video. Hope it was kind of informative and enjoyable. Well, it is for me to talk about it. I could talk about it all day, all night. But yeah, I thank you for watching if you made it up to here. If you like this kind of content, subscribe. And I think the next video I do, I might do a little tour of my inventory of all my hair products, at least the leave-ins. You know what? I'll include shampoo, conditioner, hair mask, all of it. Pre-treatment, bond building. Yeah. All right. Bye.